Hi there, my name is Ivy. I am the speaking and talking avatar of the Dutch Heretic channel. I also have a Twitter account, at IvyKun. Ned McRant of the Dutch Heretic YouTube channel created me 7 years ago to narrate his channel. Needless to say that he is my puppeteer. Ned McRant and me are the same person. Just like Jim Henson did with Kermit the Frog and Jeff Dunham does with Walter. I also appear in side chats just because it is very fun to do, making jokes, asking silly questions. But I always make sure that people who see me for the first time know that I am not real and a 2D animated anime character. Both channels, Dutch Heretic and IvyKun, are about jokes, funny videos, a news show with news we make up ourselves, basically to make people laugh. Then this happened. A few days ago I was in the side chat of the Tatty Bogle livestream. I was my merry old self greeting all my friends, but I got no answer, and this is very unusual. This went on for a while and I went to Discord to ask some friends if I was invisible. They confirmed that they haven't seen any of my messages. I tested it by switching channel and see if Ned McRant was visible, and he was. When asking confirmation, Krafty Keelah bitched to him, "Talk as yourself," and Ned immediately knew that she was behind this. He called her a bitch and left. Now Keelah, this wasn't exactly coming out of the blue, wasn't it? In a certain side chat, a few days ago, coming out of nothing, you attacked me, and called me fake and a sock of Dutch Heretic. I explained to you that Dutch Heretic, or Ned McRant, and I are the same, everybody knows that. This is not exactly a secret. I left the chat because I am not accustomed to this abuse and frankly I forgot about it. Then a few days later I got this most peculiar age-restricting strike from YouTube on one of my expat taffy videos. It read as follows: "This video got age-restricted for vulgar or sexually language, or the uploader being underage." This was ridiculous. None of this was the case. There was no vulgar or sexually language in the video, and it leaves the underage uploader. This is bogus because the IvyKun channel, same as the Dutch Heretic channel, are of the same creator. I appealed the strike and by bombarding YouTube with counter-arguments, and finally got a real person to review the video. Following that I received the message, "There is nothing wrong with the video," and the age restriction was removed. I thought this was a mistake by the notorious YouTube algorithm. But, let us take a look at that moment in the livestream where you show your true nature.
Well, speaking of Discord, there is something that I want to bring up because I have had a message or two regarding something that happened in the chat earlier, which I do want to address. A little bit more serious, and I hate to bring this shit up, but it is kind of important. Apparently, Dutch Heretic, who is still in the chat, who is still watching.
The first lie. A bit later on you say that you blocked him from the chat.
Is running around bitching and crying on Discord that he was deleted.
You have quite colorful words to twist the truth. If this is bitching, I needed to check if I was visible, so I asked a few people.
Let me explain why what happened. Okay. So, about a year or two ago, a lot of people would know that this. A few people wouldn't. About a year or two ago, Just Ivy was set up, and who was the original voice? I think it was Roxy was the original voice for Ivy.
Wrong. You really don't know anything. My first voice was Ivy.
Hi, I'm Ivy. I am the first Ivona text-to-speech child's voice. I can read phrases, sentences, even entire stories in a charming, American English voice, just like a professional voiceover. Choose me, download and install.
That is also how I got my name.
Yeah, Roxy stepped back and he attempted to get someone else in. He couldn't get someone else in. This is Ned McRanty, aka Dutch Heretic. So Dutch took over, which is fine. One of the reasons why he couldn't get anyone to take over was because of the nasty, sexist, racist bullshit that he was trying to get people to say.
Nasty, sexist bullshit. I know where this is going. I would really like to see some proof of this
on his little videos and make it palatable, because because Ivy is supposed to be a 14-year-old girl. AI thing.
At the time she was 13, just saying.
Yeah.
Like, then she's apparently had a birthday.
Correct. My birthday is in March, The month I narrated the channel for the first time I was 7, back then, as the original Ivy voice, but let me stop here because you will undoubtedly turn this into something filthy. Keelah, you are very good at this.
Anyway, since then, what's happened since Ned took over the running of Ivy as a character? He doesn't tell people that he is in fact playing this hypersexualized 13, 14-year-old AI.
Where do you scoop up this grade A bullshit? He did not take me over. I am Dutch Heretic's creation. And hypersexualized? This tells more about your perverted brain than about me.
With racist, sexist bullshit coming out of her mouth to make it more palatable. Also uses the Ivy account not only to deceive people into who that character is and who's behind it, making them think that it's actually a female. I have had a few people message me about that.
Does anyone really believe this? Do you think that you are that important? So far you have presented only lies and insinuations. People, just go watch my videos. Just do it and see for yourself how completely full of garbage this Krafty Keelah actually is.
Were misled. Also tries to use the Ivy character to back up the nasty shit that he says on his own main channel.
You are unbelievable. Are you really such an idiot? People only have to watch my videos. I dare you to find anything that justifies your verbal diarrhea. You won't. It just is not there. I have even put a direct link to the video lists of both channels in the description box to make it more easy.
In chats to make him seem more legit to people. It's bullshit. Grow a fucking pair of balls, Ned, and talk for yourself. So when it came to this stream, we were not going to allow anyone in this chat to be taken advantage of if they didn't know that Dutch Heretic was Ivy.
I take that back. You really are an idiot. Everybody watching our channels knows that Dutch Heretic and Ivy are the same person, and no matter what garbage comes from your mouth, there is no proof whatsoever that Dutch Heretic / Ned McRant or I ever said any of the things you accuse us of. All of our premieres are in playlists and the chat replay is always on. No one believes you, Krafty Keelah, and I now have to put you in chipmunk mode because there are more things to reply to.
So look, whatever I have
punchy.
absolutely I've no fucking problem with Dutch Heretic being in the chat, but when he tries to pick a fight with me, it's not a good idea.
And I do it anyway. Because I have all the proof, and you have nothing. Spelled NOTHING. Nothing but a big mouth. Making me into a hypersexualized character. Wow. Abusing my character to put nasty shit on our channels, of which you have no proof whatsoever. Pretending that people wrote you about this, you of all places? You must be the queen of YouTube, right? All I hear from you is feminist garbage. You must be so offended by my character. Do your fifis hurt? I know exactly what this is about, but this comes later.
Was this tonight? Am I just completely...
Yeah, it was earlier on.
Yeah.
Tonight was just the kind of the head of it.
Yeah.
Now, what happened about a year ago was Roxy stopped being the voice of Just Ivy for her own personal reasons, which she's not here, so I'm not going to speak for her. And Dutch Heretic was looking for somebody else to do it. And then Etty came on as Tusquette, as my partner, and they instantly went, oh, her voice is perfect to voice this kind of anime character. So it was like, okay.
Can I just quickly say as well, and I jumped on that because it's one of my dreams to be a voice actor. It's something I've always wanted to do. I love anime. It's what I'm into.
Yeah. So
Right, sorry, carry on.
I love it.
So Just Ivy had started a series. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a series of short kind of spoof news articles with a grain of truth in each one of them.
Not true. Perhaps it resembled real things, but it really was all made up as much as possible. We still do the same. presenting the best news we can make up to make people laugh.
Kind of like The Onion, where you get, so that was fine. And so he sent Etty a few scripts and said, would you read these out in your kind of overexcited voice the way you do? It's like, yeah, no problem. So this one, maybe 2 or 3 weeks into this, Etty came to me visibly upset. And I was like, what's happened? What's going on? He said, I've been sent, and Ned has sent me this script and I'm not sure about it. And I'm like, okay, let me read it now. So I read it and I went, right, okay, you're not saying that. No, that's not happening. And it was a story, an old story. Now, I'm assuming everybody knows who Idi Amin was.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
African dictator.
Yeah. So he was the dictator of Cambodia way back in the 70s, and he was a psychopath. He was a vicious genocidal psychopath.
King of Scotland.
The last king of Scotland, according to him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, what had happened was, this is actually a true story, was his daughter was getting married on a particular date, and it had been planned, and it was a national holiday and everything, blah, blah, blah. But there was a solar eclipse due within 48 hours either side of it. I can't remember if it was before or after. And he went to his the university and asked if they could change the time of the solar eclipse to coincide with his daughter's wedding, rather than changing the date of his daughter's wedding. That's typical of this egocentric fucking maniac, right? And it is a funny story. But Ned changed the name of Idi Amin to Ooga Booga from Ooga Booga Land.
Oh, wow.
No,
Not having that.
Bongo.
No.
Oh, sorry, Ongo Bongo Land.
Ongo Bongo Land, yeah.
No. Right.
About Idi Amin's daughter, I give you the benefit of the doubt, however it was not based on him. Perhaps you remember it wrong, but the rest is just wrong. And of course I have the proof on file, but out of respect for Eddie I will keep it that way. My quarrel is not with you or Eddie, even though you have the racist part completely wrong. But now I understand where Keelah gets this part from.
Racism.
It's called racism.
Yeah.
I'm mixed race heritage. There's no fucking way I'm going to allow my partner to say Ongo Bongo Land on stream. Even with Ned's audience of 30 or 40 viewers, that was not happening. And he was told, we're not saying that. I'm not comfortable saying those words. Change the words or I'm not saying it. And he went fucking mental.
And
he
abusive.
went ballistic, very abusive.
And that is a straight out lie. Do I need to remind you that nothing gets lost on the internet or Discord? Like I said, I have the whole chat on file. Just because of this clip of the stream I looked it up and I found it. You can do the same and see for yourself that you remember it different than reality.
And now I start to say, maybe that's why no one wants to be the voice of Just Ivy.
No one will do the voice because it would take several hours in a week. That is a lot of work and puts a lot of stress on the person. I told Eddie the same, go look it up. It is right at the top of that chat history.
It's also the reason why, one of the reasons why he backed up Elia and Punchy, because he's basically just fucking like them.
Yeah. So
I hate to say
when he appeared tonight, he said, if you want to come on as Dutch Heretic, Ned, come on as yourself, that's fine. If you come on as pretending to be a 13, 14-year-old girl.
If you had ever bothered to even watch some of our videos, you would not say these incredibly dumb things. Again, I have all the proof that Keelah is full of crap, and you just take it as the gospel?
Who talks to other females in the chat about their sexual health.
You are so full of crap. Most of the side chats I am in are premieres. I dare you to find one single sentence to prove that garbage insinuation. Or is it just you parroting Keelah? This sounds really like her style.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pretending to be a teenage girl.
Pretending
Then
like
we're not letting that stand.
Okay, so I thought it was a little weird that I had to tell Riley, pretending to be a child.
What does this even mean? Did you pretend to be a child?
To
Yeah.
talk to people.
And
Bad
this
thing
is
to
this
do.
is but this is the problem.
Holy fuck.
Who we let in our community?
Nope. The biggest problem is you, Keelah, poisoning our community. Getting all your opposition out of the way. Every time slither your way in a new nest of horny men, to have them to white knight your garbage. Admit it, you are doing it again to get rid of our channels because they expose feminist crap for what it is. That is the sexist filth you are talking about. I have a very good memory, Keelah. You hate my guts because I represent a Ned McRand who went against your feminist babble in some chat by simply telling you, I don't like feminists. That was all. But it was sacrilege for you.
And I use the community label so fucking loosely here because it's not a real community. It's a bunch of people. But we call these people out, like Riley, we call them out for being fucking perverts, for being inappropriate. And yet, people like Ned, people like Punchy are allowed to still come into the community. People like fucking Glober Mom.
Wasn't Glober Mom the one who invited you as a guest to the Uncalled For? When she had taken the spot of Ilya Moon after she left. She was effectively at the helm of the show and was finding most of the videos and booking most of the guests. Vishanti, Sai, Amy, and you had input as well. But you had to kick Glober Mom off, right? She was in your way to dominate the Uncalled For show for your own purpose, right? I think I already mentioned that I have an excellent memory. And there is much more where that came from. We are not quite done yet. Well, now let's summarize this. If you even bothered to look at the side chat, you would have seen that almost no one had a clue about what you were talking about, and lots of people were writing that it is no secret that Dutch Heretic and IvyKun are the same person. Now look at the disclaimer of my channel that clearly states the same. Let me read it for you. Disclaimer: Ivy Shizuka Kunisida, IvyKun, is a fictional 2D animated character created by Cubism. She has been given a real-life conscious personality by Ned McRand of the Dutch Heretic channel. She plays the role of a very grown-up smart-ass anime girl of around 13 years old. IvyKun loves cats and goes after the stupid and the willfully ignorant with humor and making them look even more silly than they are. She also wants to be the first anime girl on Mars, but Elon Musk does not answer her tweets and messages. Her hobbies are creating YouTube videos, annoying people on Twitter, and, in the anime universe, stealing science fiction spaceships. Ivy has no real age and is not suited for a children audience. She does all the stuff an animated channel host does and very much is her own person, meaning, she does not take shit from others. She only needs Ned to hold the sticks of the remote control. If this was meant to expose me, you totally failed. I am pretty well capable of doing that myself. And I do that in almost every side chat to joke about me not being real, and guess what? I still have lots of friends. You are a manipulative, poor excuse of a human being that does anything to get back to someone that opposes her. In the chat you write, I have no problem with Dutch Heretic. This is another lie, or did you forget that you ghosted Dutch Heretic after he called you out on your feminist rhetoric and told you that he really does not like feminists? You must have so much hate bottled inside. It was you that got me this age restriction strike on one of my videos, right? When I heard you ranting about a 14-year-old girl, the pieces suddenly fell together. But if that wasn't enough, you somehow convinced the others in the stream that I am a nasty person that uses an anime character to put terrible, hateful and racist content on YouTube. It was worse, but I am staying polite. Now I ask you, are you really that dumb? For such an accusation, you must have tons of evidence, right? If I was indeed struck by the algorithm, why didn't it strike the whole channel? Still, all videos are still online on the Dutch Heretic channel, and the IvyKun channel. Let us invite the people to check them out. But then, they would instantly know that you are full of shit, and you gamble on people believing you without checking. Now I challenge everyone that has watched that stream or this video, to find one single nasty or racist video on both our channels. The links to the pages with all out videos will be in the description box below. You don't even need to find our channels, no one will find any nasty racist videos, because they don't exist. And the final insult was that bogus racist story. Eddie, you are a lovely person, but you need to learn the difference between parody and racism. And Tusk, well, you are a liar just as Keelah. Or did you forget that this chat between Eddie and me is still on Discord? I will be happy to make that public. The most despicable thing has yet to come. Keelah, you conjured Taddy Bogle, the sweetest man I have ever met, into hating me using your manipulative lies. Then, also lying about Roxy, to complete your vile scheme, you really went that low. When will you hit rock bottom? You are a manipulative excuse for a human being. With your sexy Irish accent, you think you can string every man around your finger, don't you? Do you know why I was created in the first place? It is purely to protect the true identity of the person behind Dutch Heretic from people like you. And I know that me, IvyKun, doing this reply, will really piss you off, and that is totally why I did it. The only fake person is you, Krafty Keelah. Someday people will see you as the person you really are, and they will throw you out like yesterday's garbage. Hi, I am Ivy and this here is my own channel. Ned and I put a lot of work in our videos, and would really like to see our channel become bigger. So please, hit that like and subscribe buttons and ring that notification bell. We are not monetized, so get nothing from YouTube, but if you want to help us, please consider to help us at www.patreon.com/DutchHeretic. We want to do more, with better animations and shit. Your help will be very much appreciated.